Yo guys, welcome to this video and welcome to my channel. I'm slowly working on building a full DJI FPV versus traditional FPV drone video. In that video, I'll be doing a ton of different comparisons, mostly based on questions that you guys asked on my Instagram. But for now, I feel like I just haven't had enough flight time with the DJI FPV to do a full comparison yet. There's a lot of factors when you compare drones. There's handling, maneuverability, range, price, ease of use. There's so many things, but one of the biggest things when it comes to cinematic FPV is the video quality. So I wanted to do a quick comparison just to go over that one aspect. Alright, so the best way that I figured out how to do this test to isolate it only down to the video footage is literally just mount the GoPro on top of the DJI FPV. So I mounted the GoPro, I took the most innovative material known to man, which is duct tape. I duct taped around this because it's still a little bit wonky. So this is the basis of the test. You got DJI FPV flying, GoPro Hero 9 on top, which is what I normally film FPV with. You will notice there is an ND filter for the GoPro. I don't have ND filters for the DJI FPV yet. For all the videos with the DJI FPV, it has internal stabilization. And then for all the videos with the GoPro, I used RealSteady, which is basically like a post-processing stabilization software where you take the clips and then you put it in and it gets stable. And that is currently how I post-process all of the clips that I'm shooting now professionally. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into the actual footage. So this first video we are shooting in 4K 60 on both cameras. On the GoPro, I typically shoot 4K 30 just because you can get a wider crop with that. But for this test, obviously you want to compare apples to apples. So we're shooting 4K 60 versus 4K 60. Later on in the video, I will show you the 4K 30. For all these tests and videos, all the footage is ungraded. For the GoPro, it's just natural GoPro color. And then for the DJI FPV, it is also just normal color. So to set the stage, DJI has the stabilization done internally, so you get the stabilized clip right off the SD card. Like I said before, the GoPro footage is put through a stabilization software on my computer called RealSteady. It like absolutely blows away any other stabilization software I've ever used, including GoPro's internal stabilization, Hypersmooth. Right here is a really good example of the stabilization differences. It's a pretty rocky patch of flying and you can definitely see that on the DJI FPV, but on the RealSteady clip you can't really tell at all. Alright, so moving on now, this is the slow-mo. So on the DJI FPV it shoots 1080 120 and then the GoPro it's 2.7K 120. Then the other big difference right away is the colors. As you can see, the colors on the DJI FPV are a little bit off. But I will say in the right lighting conditions, the picture on the DJI FPV is really good. Cool, now getting into the 4K 30 that I usually shoot at. You'll notice right away that the big thing is the wider field of view. And guys, I gotta be honest, I mean, you can see as well, but in this video, just the video quality, the GoPro plus RealSteady absolutely destroys the DJI FPV. That being said, there is things that the DJI FPV does better than the traditional FPV, but as far as video quality, I mean, you can see for yourself. I'll leave my more in-depth analysis for the full DJI FPV versus traditional FPV video, but hopefully this gives you guys at least a look at just the footage differences. Make sure to hit that like button, it helps me out tremendously, and I will see you guys in the next video.